Hi everyone, welcome back to Vital Healing. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Dr. Candida Schwartz. I'm a naturopathic doctor as well as an intuitive healer. Today, we are going to have a continuation from last Thursday's episode. So for today's Thursday's episode, I'm going to, as promised, talk a lot more in depth about collagen, the different types, the different names that it's marketed as, and how to pick the best product for you. I'll also talk about gelatin and bone broth, as well as the bone broth powders. So stay to the end. I will talk about some specific brands and companies that I really like that I highly recommend to my patients and clients and use myself. And I also created 3 new really great, yummy, fun recipes that I will showcase at the end. And all of the links and everything will be below to recipes and all that. So comment, what are you interested in around collagen? What does this bring up? What kind of questions do you have? Please feel free to comment below. So, sorry, my little cheat sheet fell. So collagen is protein. It's the protein that holds us together. And as we age, we don't make as much collagen. So that's why we see aches and pains and joint problems and osteoporosis and, sagging skin and brittle hair and, all the different things that happen. Skin issues. So, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about, because this is the thing that prompted me to really want to get to the bottom of it and research and call companies to really understand what is going on with these 3 products, collagen, gelatin, and bone broth products. So collagen, first off, like the first thing that really drove me crazy was hydrolyzed collagen or collagen hydrolyzed or collagen peptides. I was starting to be like, these products are expensive. And so I was like, I just need to understand, like, what are all these different, like, why are all these different names coming through? So collagen peptides, hydrolyzed collagen peptides, they're all synonyms. They're all the same thing. Hydrolyzed just means it's undergone the process of hydrolyzation, which breaks down the protein and makes the collagen more absorbable and more bioactive, more bioavailable, so the body can utilize it easier, more efficiently. So, and then collagen peptides, after you have the hydrolyzation process, after you've gone through that, you end up with collagen peptides. It's a hard word, that word. So there are several different types of collagen throughout our body. They all overlap. So every cell of our body is going to be affected will be enhanced, it will be supported, helped with collagen. Especially if you're older and you're starting to realize that, you need a little bit more in your body, right? So the ones that I'm going to talk about are the 5 most important types of collagen. So type 1 is a longer strand of the protein. So this one is more for like ligaments, tendons, muscles, aches and pains. Of course, it's still going to help with skin, hair, and nails and all the other different things that collagen supports our body with. But that seems to be more of what its focus is. 2, those are shorter strands of the protein. So those are really great for so type 2 gets a lot of press for joint spaces, when the joints, you lose all of those, that beautiful, flexibility in the joints and cushioning in the joints, and you start needing a knee replacement or a hip replacement. So, if that's a big thing for you, you might choose type 2. Type 3, usually the most popular one you can get is a combo of 1 and 3. 1 and 3 run side by side in the body. The strands run side by side. So it's going to help with all of those bones and muscles and ligaments, like I mentioned before, type 3, but it's also got an affinity towards circulation. It helps with circulation because it really helps with our blood vessels, our veins and our arteries. So that's a little extra bonus with 3. 5, type 5 is also hair, skin, and nails, but it's also got an affinity to it's also found a lot in our organs. So maintaining the integrity and the health of this at a cellular level in the organs. And then 10 is joints, movability, flexibility, cushion, stability of the joints. But it's also really great for inflammation, which I didn't know until I actually did the research. I kind of saw them all as anti-inflammatories, but I do think 10 gets more, there's more evidence with 10. So what to do is to get the supplement that has all 5. And like I said, I'll talk about supplements later. You want to get a supplement also that comes from many different animal bones. So fish, eggs, chicken, beef. And then there was another source that said on a bird, the sternum, so the chest bone right here, that was another really great source for a good collagen product. I didn't know that one either. Okay, and so collagen, it will dissolve really easily in anything: smoothies, cereal, water, tea, whatever you want. It's easy to get in. I would just watch sugar contents. That's one personal thing that I would just be mindful of, because a lot of them are really sweet. Okay, gelatin is what we cook with, what we make Jello, we thicken soups. Some ice cream recipes have gelatin in them for the added health benefits. I have a recipe that I'll put below that I put gelatin in just because it makes it creamier and just a nicer texture. But gelatin is just cooked collagen, so it's broken down even further. So it makes it that much more bioavailable, easily, readily absorbed in the body. There's a reason why we have Jello at the hospital when we're sick, or that our moms gave us Jello when we don't feel well. There's something very soothing about Jello. There's something very calming about Jello, or gelatin in general. It's broken down, and I find that it's really great to lower inflammation, and I find that it's really great for leaky gut. It's really great for IBS. All of those tricky gut issues. It's even like, it's soothing on your throat even. And it's got the protein, it's got all of that collagen, it's got all of the health benefits. But I do find that it's especially good for gut repair. And you just need to add hot liquid to it in order to, make it gel. So that's one thing that's a little different. And then bone broth. I think there's so many different recipes for overnight bone broths, and I've seen people cure leaky gut and IBS and support IBD, like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Like, there's a lot of great things about bone broth. Bone broth has all of these really great, properties from the gelatin and the collagen, but it's also got extra nutrients, extra minerals, extra vitamins. It's just a different, it's just that much more nutritious and supportive to the body. The tricky thing about bone broth is, and this is whether it's a powder or a broth, an actual broth, if you feel worse with it, it's high in histamines and it's high in oxalates. So if you have trouble with histamines and oxalates, or you just don't feel well when you have bone broth or bone broth products, you might want to talk to your doctor. I would go to an alternative healthcare provider because they're going to be a little bit more experienced with this subject. Because maybe you have an issue with oxalates and or histamines. So be mindful of that. Kidney stones, if you're predisposed to kidney stones, you might want to pick gelatin. If you do have issues with histamines and oxalates, or you just don't feel well whenever you have bone broth, again, you might want to pick gelatin and or collagen. The supplements that are bone broth are really, really expensive. So yeah, they're great. They're comprehensive. They're nutritious, but so I just like to, I'm just kind of giving you the pros and cons of everything. So this is the gelatin that I use. Vital Nutrients, I also use their collagen powders. I really like this company. And this is Ancient Nutrition. This is a great collagen. Now, they have a complete, and I'll put a link below, but they have one that's called Complete Collagen, and you get all 5 of those types that I talked about earlier. I don't tolerate eggs super well, so that's why I chose this one. But I'll let you decide on that, and what what's important for you for your health. And then here are my yummy, fun treats, recipes that I created. So these are my fudgesicle gummies. These are my high protein collagen bars. This is the pomegranate creamsicle gummy that I did last Thursday. And then these are my root beer float gummies with those little hearts and stars and gummy bears. Super fun, high protein. All of the links will be below with all of the variations and all the fun things that you can do with them, but they're yummy. People are loving them. These I made with this collagen. So the bars I made with this collagen that I already showed you, but then I also used this plant protein. So this is a plant-based protein that has all sorts of great other fermented herbs and mushrooms and cordyceps and ginseng and MCT oil. And the protein doesn't have all that pea protein or chickpea proteins. I find that a lot of my patients, especially with like problematic guts, they don't do well with those proteins. This is just a really clean product. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So just so you know, one of these little sweetie pies comes in at 6 grams? 6 grams. 5 grams of protein. It's just little, look, little. And 85 calories, which isn't bad because it's almond butter and all of these protein powders and maple syrup. And again, the recipes are below and you can play around with them, and I give you lots of different variations. This gummy came in at 105 calories. And I mean, the gummies, all of the calories with the gummies that I did for today, the root beer float and the fudgesicle ones, all the calories will be listed. But the entire batch of root beer gummies, the entire batch, which was probably close to like all of the gummies you see here, like it made a lot, was 100 calories for the whole thing, which is incredible. And you get a ton of protein in there, not to mention the collagen because of the gelatin. And then these chocolate fudge ones, the whole thing, so you're going to get all of these plus more, right, because there's so little and there are so many of them. That whole recipe came in at 230 calories. So great way to enjoy your food as medicine. So I try to make these shorter. I'm not successful. I'm too chitty chatty, so I apologize. I hope you got some really good, valuable information. I hope you play around with these recipes. I hope you start enjoying food as your medicine. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Have a great day.